YouTube, it's Delana, aka A Colorful Chaos, your favorite Afro-Surrealist artist. In today's video, I'm sharing about my artist residency. Now, it's been about 2 years, but I still thought it was important to push this out. So today we're going to talk about from how I got my residency, what I've learned, and how you can prepare if you're thinking about applying. So for context, I want to talk a little bit about my artistry before I had started my residency. I was just finishing up my first solo showcase that if you haven't seen in the previous video, I'll link it down below. After having the opportunity, it was like, the feeling of like trying to figure out what's next. And I felt very I felt excited about having that opportunity, but then also I felt very lost because I wasn't sure of what to do next. At the same time, ironically, I was very much praying about community and wanting more connection. An old friend of mine told me about venturing out to First Friday and showing me what First Friday was. And so we were able to go to art space in Raleigh, and I was able to meet my friend Isabel and meet so many more artists, and basically shown the way and told they were able to tell me about residencies. And so an artist residency, you give an opportunity to create a body of work. Some residencies can be more about creative play. Others are very much you get a free studio, or you might get a stipend, or it might be like a traveling opportunity. Some you get a show at the end. And this one in particular, I was able to get a studio for 6 months. I had to create a whole new body of work, and I had to do a show at the end and have a community engagement portion of the residency. So I really wasn't sure of what my proposal was going to be. I also had something else that had happened around that time where I had lost a family member, and I was going through a grieving process, and I was looking through some old archival photos that I found of my grandmothers who had died actually a couple years before. I just remember going through a lot of the photos and just was feeling this wave of nostalgia, but then also the amount of documentation that my grandmother did was it was very unreal. And so I had the idea to paint those family photos, but in an Afro-Surrealistic lens. The other part of the proposal of wanting to do community engagement and to make sure that it wasn't so heavy with my family photos, I wanted to open it up to the community and interview people about what family means to them, or any family traditions, or just inquiring about familiar spaces and with family members. And so the proposal was really about me processing my grief over a lot of the loved ones that are no longer with me, but that influenced me in my life in a certain way, but also me wanting to connect with other people in their family relationships and their family dynamics. I remember the day where I got the email for the interview, and I was just shaking so bad, and I was asking my friend to read it. I got the interview. I remember interviewing, being scared and nervous, and then getting the email back that I got chosen. And I could not believe, nor did I expect that this residency was going to change my life. And I know it sounds dramatic. But it changed everything for me. If you want a deeper dive into how to apply for a residency or maximize your opportunity, let me know in the comments down below. That could be a future video. So now that I told you about my proposal, I want to talk a little bit about my experiences during the residency. I remember it was early on in the week, we had to move in before Third Friday. And so this particular residency is the Durham Artist in Residence. And I probably should have led with that. But this residency, again, was for 6 months, and I got a free studio space and a stipend to buy my supplies and get whatever I need. And I just remember moving in and seeing the space and being excited, but then also very nervous. At the time, life was lifing. So it was art journey on heart mode. Yeah, every third Friday for the next 6 months, we were expected to be in our studios to talk about our work and talk about our art processes. And so I also shared the residency with 2 other artists who are very, very good friends of mine. I love you guys. Wilkie and Sanje James. And so we did this residency together, but also I did not expect to have such, to make really secure bonds with them. Like we bonded during this residency. And so one of the really cool things about doing the Durham Artist in Residence was that all the workshops and all the programming that they had going on, we were able to go to for free. So learning, like getting your headshots or going to see like the juried show or the member show, doing the holiday vending event that year. And then I was also meeting a lot of other artists like across the triangle. So like going into Raleigh or going into Cary, meeting all these artists from all these different places, and it really forced me out of my shell. And I have to give it to Michelle and Sanje, because they were pulling me left and right, and we told each other that we were going to experience everything that Durham had to offer, everything that Raleigh had to offer, and really make the most of the residence. We were networking, we were going to openings, we were applying to things and sharing resources amongst each other, while also going through the 6 months and like collaborating and trying to push each other when it came down to our proposals. One of the great things about the residency is that each month we were able to meet up with it was always going to be like a new artist coming in as a mentor. Some people came multiple times and some people came only once, where they were able to share their experiences as like mid-career, emerging, or like, expert level artists, sharing our portfolios with them, talking about our processes, talking about, how we wanted our shows to be, and just asking questions. There were a lot of times where I felt stuck, and I wasn't really sure about where my proposal was going, or if I wasn't sure about a painting, or there was plenty of times where I wanted to make a specific painting and it didn't really pan out the way I wanted. Like, and that's just me being real. Like, there's this one painting that from a wedding photo I wanted to make, and Michelle helped me build like the arch canvas and everything, and I still haven't started on that painting. But and then even interviewing and trying to figure out how to incorporate that into my show was very hard for me. But the program director, Anthony, he really helped me out. Liz G, she was the executive director at the time, and she was there with the meetings. Wendy Soren was one of the artist mentors. Candy Carver was one of my artist mentors, and Dara was helping me with curation and helping with my artist. Y'all, the disrespect. So apparently my audio had stopped recording like midway into me recording, so we're gonna do this again. I'm pretty sure every YouTuber has gone through this, so it's what happens. Doing collaboration with like all the staff and like having all the support, and having those monthly meetings really kept us on track. I was one of the first residents to go, so my showcase was in January, starting mid-January, going into mid-February, and then Sanje was after me, and then it was Michelle. I don't know why they set it up this way, because like in hindsight it was like hard mode, and I'm not always against doing hard mode, because like once you do something that's hard, you do it again, it's not as hard. But thinking back on it, having the community aspect, I also merged doing like a small party or get together with Sanje and her show, since we had a lot of the same elements when it came down to like mental health within the family and healing and like focusing on Black lives. So we wanted to collaborate on that. So during the party, we had a DJ, we had food, we had I think Sanje had set up like a Polaroid and did like a photo booth because she's a photographer. And for me, in my studio, it was like this gathering of people writing down their fondest memories or their favorite memories and answering the questions that I had during the show. And I had collected a lot of those sticky notes, and people were able to talk about it, talk about my work. They were able to see into my studio, see my family portraits and stuff. So that was like the little integration of that. Talking about hiccups, one of the biggest hiccups I had was, or the biggest one was burnout. I burnt myself out a lot between traveling and like painting and processing. Like it was a lot, and it was not for the weak, I promise you that. But one of the things that really challenged me was the pieces that I was creating. I didn't realize had a lot of emotional and mental weight to them. I was finding myself still facing the grief that I had for my relatives that were no longer with me, specifically the painting of my mother and my stepdad and the painting of my grandfather. Those were two paintings that were really, really heavy for me to create. I didn't realize that even though that a lot of my, processing during this residency and going through all those photos and listening to the stories and interviewing like family members or friends, like how emotional I was going to be. So that was really the tough part. It was truly an experience that I will never forget. Again, making so many relationships and learning so much and collaborating. Like I did like a lot of studio visits with other artists and learned from them. The show was amazing. The turnout was amazing. A lot of people came out. Thank you, Danny, my friend Danny, for taking the photos, like amazing photos. If this video resonated with you, I take this as a sign that you should apply for a residency. Honestly, any art residency can really catapult you within your career, and you can learn a lot about yourself. These are very amazing opportunities, and yeah, I really learned a lot about myself as an artist. I learned more about my process. I learned more about my voice. I found my voice. I definitely found my community for sure. It was very transformative for me. If this video resonates with you, like, apply for a residency. Go for it. You never know if you'll get it, and you can learn so much. You can learn so much from it. Like, it truly, again, it was a transformative experience. I learned a lot about my art practice, myself as an artist, myself as a person, and again, meeting a lot of people, a lot of other artists, and gained a lot of support. So thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for being so patient with me for putting out this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you want me to expand more about my residency experience, like give you tips on how to get one. If you want me to talk more about my family, my colorful family archives, and I can show you the paintings for that. But yeah, until next time, you guys, thanks for tuning in. See you later. Bye.